It's a Playboy affair.
All right, look, we are going to get into a recent interview. Draymond Green interviewed Kevin Durant for his new show called Chips, like Chips on Your Shoulder, with Bleacher Report. And overall, I actually really liked this episode. It was a great episode. Draymond was a very strong interviewer. He has a good rapport with a lot of players, but also has a very good rapport with Kevin Durant that I think shined during this interview. He was able to ask a lot of questions and get way more direct answers than other people have gotten because a lot of the questions that he asked have been asked to Kevin Durant a million times. Draymond is also, to me, clearly building to be the next media mogul in the NBA. I'm talking like Shaq Chuck style media mogul. Like props to guys like JJ Redick, Duncan Robinson, who are really doing their thing in the media sphere. But Draymond Green seems to be aiming at a different level. Like you've seen him on Inside the NBA, on TNT. He's starting this show grouped up with Bleacher Report, which shows you that he has some Warner Media support behind him. And I expect this to be great moving forward. Now, there are a couple pieces of this interview that I actually want to highlight. I mean, give you all some clips. YouTube listeners will get both audio and video. And the first thing that I want to talk about the most is the thing that everybody was talking about. Why did KD leave the Warriors? And is it Draymond's fault? Now, this was super illuminating to me because it is not what you would think. So I'm going to give y'all the clip real quick.
For my own personal sanity, I've been getting my ass kicked ever since you left. So just for my own personal sanity, how much did our argument against the Clippers drive you to ultimately lead the Warriors?
It wasn't the argument. It was the way that everybody, Steve Kerr, act like it didn't happen. Bob Myers and tried to just discipline you and think that that would put the mask over everything. I really felt like that was such a big situation for us as a group. The first time we went through something like that, we had to get that shit all out. I remember watching The Last Dance, and when Scotty didn't go into the game, the whole team in the locker room said, Scotty, that was fucked up that you did that. We needed that. We just needed to throw all of that shit out on the table and say, yo, Dre, okay, like that was fucked up that we even had to go through that. Let's just wipe our hands with that and go finish the task. I don't think we did that. We tried to dance around it. I just didn't like how all of that, just the vibe between all of that, it just made shit weird to me. And I'd rather us be who we say we are, family first. Communication is key. Like we didn't show that, and that's what rubbed me the wrong way more than anything.
When we landed back from LA, I sat in the.
So there's something that's particularly unique to me. It's like, damn, they aired out the coaches in front office. They aired out, they had a Steve Kerr. They aired out Bob Myers, and like, yikes, because everybody blamed Draymond. Draymond took a lot of the brunt for that, but it's interesting because a lot of people think that they get a locker room, but I don't think they really do. Like teammates are going to fight. Teammates are going to say some wild shit. Teammates are going to get into it. But most of the time, that doesn't always mean that it's bad. In fact, sometimes clearing the air helps. I'm going to keep going.
Hazel was sitting in the car for an hour and 45 minutes. They pulled me in that room at Signature for an hour and 45 minutes, and they tried to tell me, you need to apologize. And I told them, I'll talk to Kay, but y'all aren't going to tell me what I need to say. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they went on for an hour and 45 minutes saying a bunch of bullshit. And ultimately, they realized, all right, we're not getting through to him. We're going to try again in the morning. And so we met the next morning, and they said, all right, you slept on it. You ready to apologize? And I told them right then and there, I said, y'all about to fuck this up. I said, the only person that can make this right is me and Kay. And there's nothing that y'all can do, and y'all are going to fuck this up. And in my opinion, they fucked it up.
I think so too.
And they told me right then and there, like, we're going to suspend you for this game. I laughed in their face, literally laughed in their face.
Yo, okay. So let's break this down real quick. Now, first off, I love the fact that Draymond is like, I'm not going to apologize, and pushed hard on that. The thing that's the most interesting part about that is Katie and Draymond as boys, they know each other. Katie know Draymond not sorry for what he said when he said it, and he kind of meant that shit when he said it. Did he go too far? Probably, but that's neither here nor there. So if you come up with some bullshit apology to someone that you know, they ain't gonna buy that shit. That's not gonna fix that shit. And it was really, they were very on point. They were like, they fucked that shit up. They agreed that they fucked that shit up. And it was kind of surprising to me that Steve Kerr tried to deal with it this way. It's not as surprising to me as Bob Myers tried to deal with this way. He's not like in the locker room guy, all that type of stuff. But Steve Kerr played the game. He was in those locker rooms. He was around people like MJ who went at people hard. We all saw The Last Dance. And it's weird that you got that logic out of the Steve Kerr. Because guys, when shit's bubbling, when they're going at it, like at the most part, they really have to hash that shit out or it's going to stay bubbling under. And generally, shit gets hashed out after an explosion between people, especially when it's been bubbling under the surface for a while, like the whole is Katie going to stay, is Katie going to leave style thing. So that was always big to me when looking at this. Now, the second clip I want to talk about in this interview, which is actually just hilarious to me, is about Katie's burners.
Obviously, we were teammates when you got caught with the burner account. One thing I love about the burner account is everything that you said on the burner account, you just started to say on Kevin Durant's account.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like it, as most people voice. They don't like how you respond to some fans or how you respond to this, how you are always tweeting. What do you make of people's reaction to you responding to fans? And if you think something, you send it.
Yeah. I just think people are still upset that I went to the Warriors, and a lot of people who are Cavs fans who enjoy watching the Cavs beat y'all before, which is a lot of people. I didn't realize that till I got there. A lot of people enjoy seeing y'all lose in 2016. And a lot of those people were upset that we were so good. And they're still upset because you do the same shit on Twitter. Damian Lillard does the same shit on Twitter. CJ McCollum does the same shit on Twitter. We all do the same shit on Twitter, but for me, it's a problem. I mean, I chalk it up to just me being so good at what I do and playing with a team that was so great.
Now, look, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I thought this was funny. Now, first off, the burner account was hilarious to me. But the most important part of this is that I love the fact that KD kept that same energy when he hopped off the burner. That is even better. Like, I am on the side of how do you not love KD's interaction with his fans or just with NBA Twitter in general? Like, KD's in the spaces, KD's responding to people. Like, this is only good for the game, good for fans. And a lot of people aren't really the same. Now, I will say he is wrong about tying his burner and people focusing to it to Golden State. The reason why your Twitter presence has such high scrutiny to it is because you got caught on your burner. And people didn't care about you getting caught on your burner because you played for Golden State. You acting a fool. Now, I'm going to give you a story that proves why KD is just kind of woe is me, doing a little bit of victimhood here. Do y'all remember Sixers executive Brian Colangelo? He was the former president of basketball operations and the general manager for the Philadelphia 76ers who got caught with a fleet. I'm talking about like 5+ burners account where he talked about the Sixers, criticized players like Nerlens Noel, Joel Embiid, Markelle Fultz, etc., disclosed sensitive team information, like all of that. And he got caught with the burner. There were like 1 million articles, Ringer articles, Sport Illustrated articles, Bleacher Report articles. He had to resign and actually step down because he got caught with his burner accounts. If you are famous, period, there is a higher level of scrutiny to you. If you get caught with your burner, people will never leave your Twitter presence alone. Now, that being said, KD ain't the same as other people are on Twitter, but he does get higher scrutiny because of who he is and how good he is at the game. But I don't think the entire thesis or conversation around KD's Twitter presence would be the same as it is today if the whole burner situation never happened. Now, the last clip I want to talk about was actually very, very interesting to me, and it's actually KD talking about kids.
Do you ever worry that the longer you wait, your kid won't understand who Kevin Durant is?
I'm glad he won't understand. Because
Why
I
is
don't
that?
want him to have to feel like he's pressured in this bubble to do what I did, you know? And as long as I'm playing, like, this bubble is always going to be about making it to the NBA. So if you see a little KD out here, nothing but you expecting him to be a basketball player. So, like, I don't know if my kid are even going to be that tall or fall into the game like I fell into it. Who knows? So I'd rather just me tell him, you know, over time what I did. I don't want any pressure for anybody that's coming into my world to do what I like to do. I want them to explore things on their own.
Now, I actually really like this argument by Kevin Durant here, and I think he is really 100% right. Like, it's hard to not see it from this way. First off, I think he probably saw things like, MJ's kid, but particularly because it's like right happening now, LeBron James' kid, Bronny, like, think about how much pressure, spotlight, and criticism Bronny comes under because his dad is LeBron James and he wants to pick up a basketball. Like, I could fully understand why he would never want that for his kid. He just wants his kid to grow up being a kid. But like the microscope has been on Bronny since day one. Like, Bronny likes his friend's mom's Instagram pic just because, like, hey, who cares? It's a like on Instagram. And there's like a million articles that he's trending on Twitter because people are like, is he fucking Larsa Pippen? Like, I can truly 100% understand why KD don't want nothing to do with that for his kid. But also, how tall is Lana Rhodes? No, I'm just playing with y'all. But for real talk, I thought this interview was amazing. I thought like the insight we got on some really, really key issues for like Draymond, KD, the Warriors, etc. was huge. I can't wait to hear the next episode of Chips, whoever Draymond has on next. Like, I think is going to be fantastic.